Hotep, I am the Amen Osiris, the one and only undisputed God of law. We are Deception Stoppers, America's only 4D education service. I'm not a lawyer. This is not a law firm. We don't advocate that you don't support your human offspring. We simply advocate that you made them in private, take care of them in private. And today I'm giving a shout out to the God Kings who dwell upon the landmass called New Jersey. And gentlemen, today I'm going to show you that you can absolutely sue the 4D crime family that operates in New Jersey for deprivation of your rights under color of law if they are withholding your wages or doing anything else without a court hearing. Okay? Now, first thing you want to do, gentlemen, is if you're going to go into battle, you need a plan. Okay? Everything that the 4D crime family is doing to you is premeditated because they submit a state plan to the Federal Office of Child Support Enforcement, explaining to them how they're going to go about depriving you of your rights and why, which is for what? Profit. That's it. No more, no less. All right. So the New Jersey battle plan, what you want to do is, gentlemen, this is a little mock-up that I've made. Sorry. I can't see what I'm doing over there. All right. It's a little mock-up that I've made. Now, we already know who runs Title 4D in America. All right. Well, within the United States. United States Department of Health and Human Services, Javier Becerra, and Federal Office of Child Support Enforcement, Tangela Gray. Now, what these two do, all right, so Tangela Gray runs the OCSE. OCSE is the, what is it? The detached and disconnected unit. It is separate, okay? Now, what happens is they outsource to New Jersey. That goes to the Department of Human Services. Remember, all right, if you read the federal manual, Section 8, it'll tell you that the Child Support Agency places the state places the 4D crime family within a Department of Social or Human Services umbrella agency. An umbrella agency is an agency that acts as employers to agency contractors who work under a fixed contract term assignment. Okay, so it then goes to New Jersey. All right, DHS. Now, check this out. They also have a contract with the state attorney general, Matthew J. Platkin. All right. Sarah Adelman runs the DHS. Now, let's talk about the single and separate organizational unit, 42 USC 654-3. All right. This is the Office of Child Support Enforcement that operates in New Jersey. It is not a state agency, gentlemen. That is ran by Patricia Risch. She is the director. Okay. You got the Department of Family Development here, Natasha Johnson, Administrative Office of the Courts, Glenn A. Grant. You got, and just so you know, I'm going off Burlington County. Burlington County, I'm not done with you yet. I'm just getting started. Promise you. All right. So you have the Burlington County Court, Superior Court, Chancery Division. This is a court of equity, gentlemen. Look up the word equity. You have the family part judges of this court. These are contractors. Okay. You got the Burlington County Probation Child Support Enforcement Unit. All right. You have the Burlington County Prosecutor's Office. I think Lucia L. Bradshaw. I think I spelled that right. And you got the Burlington County Sheriff's Office, Anthony Basantis. These are all the people involved with destroying your rights. However, if you're going to launch a lawsuit against all these people, you are going to spend an arm, leg, and a couple of toes. What you want to do is you want to narrow it down. All right. Reason being, even though we can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that no one on this page has immunity, that is the first thing you need to look at. The first thing they're going to do is claim I got immunity. No, they do not. So what you want to be, your battle plan should be, number one, is who are you going to attack? All right. What I would highly suggest, and what I do suggest, is you attack Patricia Risch. Reason being, because Patricia Risch, everybody all answers to her. Okay. And I'm going to show you why in a minute. Okay. But your battle plan, what you want to do is you need to find out the key players, figure out how to get rid of, narrate, all right, get rid of the key players and narrow it down to one. We can get Patricia Risch on, what do you call that? Respondent superior. She's now liable for the contractors who run 4D in Burlington County or in any other place in New Jersey. Gentlemen, this applies to any state battle plan. Okay. Now, what you also have to consider is their defense. First thing they're going to do is Motion to dismiss. What are they going to use? Failure to state a claim. They're going to try to hit with the Roker-Feldman doctrine and a couple other doctrines. It ain't going to work. Not under a Title 4D contract. Okay? Not under a Title 4D contract. So what you're going to do to save yourself a lot of time and a lot of headache and a lot of legal fees is sue her, Patricia Rich, for the operations of her employees. These are all her employees now. Okay? The Superior Court has no business in child support. Why? Because child support is its jurisdiction is in the executive branch, not the judicial branch. Now, okay, so effectuate your plan, gentlemen. Know who you're going to attack and why. Okay, deprivation of rights under color of law. Now, we're going to go to New Jersey statutes, and I'm going to show you exactly what's going to give you standing to sue. All right, let me switch sides here. And give me 1 second. There we go. All right, it's on now. Now, what I'm going to do, gentlemen, I'm going to show you. Again, we use their information against them. All right, they can't come back and say this is wrong. If they come back and say this is wrong, they're openly admitting that they're committing fraud. Now, we know that in New Jersey, the single and separate organizational unit that runs child support is the Office of Child Support Services. That's who runs it. They transmit regulatory and procedural information to child support entities. Now, there's certain words that I want you to pay attention to here. All right. You can Google this and look it up for yourself. Okay, this is my personal copy. All right. So look at section B. The OCSS shall provide technical assistance to all what? Contractual agents. Gentlemen, I told you, everybody that participates in 4D, these courts, these clerk of courts or sheriffs, they are contractual agents, and you're going to see that here today. All right. Letter E, the OCSS and what? It's contractual agents. Okay. We're going to go to letter H. The OCSS shall be responsible for coordinating activities with the Federal Office of Child Support Enforcement in the United States Department of Health and Human Services. All right. So, gentlemen, what that means is Aaron Frisch, the Child Support Enforcement crime family in New Jersey, they do not answer to the state. They answer to the federal government. Here's your proof. Federal government, the United States government is a foreign corporation in respect to any state, and that works both ways. Look at the statutes of the District of Columbia, and they will tell you the same thing. All right, the state of New Jersey is foreign to them. Okay, let's go to section I. This is one of my favorites. Okay, the OCSS shall establish in a manner consistent with federal and state laws. Okay, with the child support, look, state plan submitted. Gentlemen, remember I told you, you need a battle plan. Their plan is effectuated. They already knew how they was going to destroy your life and your rights. They're doing it now. Okay? And all this is done by official issuances of the Federal Office of Child Support Enforcement, not the state. So if they're not of the state, that means they don't get the immunity that the state would get. We know that Title 4D is a for-profit business because New Jersey, like any other state, has customer service. All right. Now, number 4, by using technological advantages for access to and the management of general program information, including but not limited to automated withholding processing. Now, what this means, gentlemen, is this is where your lawsuit comes in from here down. All right. It is written in stone. It is guaranteed. All right. Under 1983, if any person deprives you of any right under a color of law, they are liable to you. That's the law. The rule of law says that they have to abide by that same law. New Jersey goes by that, the rule of law. All right, so let's go down. So if automated wage withholding is a bill of attainder, gentlemen, it punishes obligors and non-custodial pay rents, which you'll see in here, without a trial, without a jury. All right, denial of equal protection, denial of due process of law. Ain't going to happen. All right, that's the first violation right there. Now, we also have 3 more violations I'm going to show you. So this is 2, excuse me. This is a bill of attainder, all right, because it's not done by court, and it's a violation of due process of law. We got 2 more, okay? Look, so these are federally prescribed performances measures. All right, it's done under the state plan, which is submitted to the federal OCSE. Federal OCSE, okay? Applications, the OCSC shall ensure that applications for child support services. Now, remember, I did a video on New Jersey about a week ago. All right, and it says your child has the right to this to support, and you have the right to these services. Well, if you have a right to a service, how come you got to fill out an application? You don't have to fill out an application to obtain your rights, gentlemen. All right, if they're reading Miranda, nobody says you have the right to remain silent, but there's a $25 application fee. No, sir, it doesn't work that way. Turn this down a little bit. Okay, so now letter I, one of my favorites. The OCSC shall ensure that services. Remember, Title 4D is a service, folks. Did you apply for that service? Do you want the service? No. Relating to the establishment of paternity and the establishment, modification, or enforcement of a 4D order or obligation as appropriate, comply with what? Federal standards for the program operation. It says nothing about the Constitution. All right, which makes it unconstitutional. Bam. Okay. And provide for both administrative and expedited judicial procedures in accordance with federal and state provisions. The OCSC shall use contractual agents as necessary, procured through purchase of service contracts and contractual agreements, right, with the 4D crime family. The OCSC right here is in the executive branch, Article 5. Administrative Office of the Courts is in the Article 6 judicial branch. That's a violation of separation of powers right there, gentlemen. Okay? Now, there's another one here I want to see you here. All right, so letter Q. The OCSC may request the help of the OCSS may request the help for the federal OCSC to initiate litigation in district court, which means that you also, under equal protection of the law, can bring a case against them in district court. All right. OCSC supervises the child support disbursement unit. Okay. In accordance with 30232 for processing of the collection of child support funds made under what? Support orders. Support orders from whom? Where does a child support court order come from? A support order? It doesn't exist. If the federal if the OCSS in the executive branch, where did it get Article 6, Section 1 judicial powers from? It does not exist. Okay? And because these judges have now gone into these contracts, they're no longer judges. They're not agents or employees or officers of the state of New Jersey or the Office of Child Support Services. They are independent contractors. All right, let's continue. All right, they can be sued. I lost my place here. All right, here's another thing that I like. OCSS shall ensure that support rights assigned to the state for public assistance. Again, the United States Supreme Court clearly stated what? No federal rights. All right, no entitlement to services. So where is this right to assign something that doesn't exist? Okay. The OCC, all right, excuse me. So they oversee child support orders. All right. And look, when the income of the what? The NCP is non-custodial pay rent is subject to withholding. Okay. When did you succeed to the status of non-custodial pay rent? That's whose income is subject to withholding. A man's income is not under the New Jersey State Constitution, Article 1, subsection 1. All men are by nature free and independent. All right. Look up the word free. Here it is again. OCSS shall ensure the reciprocity of contracts are maintained for foreign reciprocating jurisdictions established by the state through letters of agreement signed by who? Administrative Director of the Courts. Article 5, Executive Branch. Article 6, Judicial Branch. Okay? Let's go down. Now, this is one of my favorites. Letter T. This is where the denial of equal protection of the law comes in. 14th Amendment, subsection 1. The OCSC shall establish procedures for what? Case closure in accordance with 30311 and state provisions. All right, case closure criteria, gentlemen. All right, if you read section 12, they allow baby mama or your ex-wife, whatever you want to call her, to close a case of get the arrears. They will not allow you to do it. That's a denial of equal protection of the law. Okay? Again, here we have, I showed you in my last video, what are enforcement remedies? Okay, so the OCSS shall ensure that enforcement remedies are provided in accordance with federal and state provisions for both 4D and non-4D cases. And here it is again, shall use contractual agents as necessary, again, procured through purchase of service contracts and contractual agreements with the OCSS. Such remedies include as federal and state provisions require, but are not limited to the following. Gentlemen, these are all bills of attainder. Okay? Not only are you going to have, you have bills of attainder, you have denial of equal protection of the law, you're also going to have in here involuntary servitude, all right, and denial of due process, all off of one, wage withholding. I don't care if it's wage withholding, garnishment, whatever they do, but look, check it out. Okay, let's go down. All right, so the case closure establishment, that's going to deny you equal protection of the law under Section 12 of that statute. The OSHI, all right, so these remedies that are done, all right, and inflicted against you are not done in court, which makes them bills of attainder because they only apply to what? A non-custodial pay rent or an obligor. Now, I've showed you non-custodial pay rent. You'll see the obligor, all right? This is done by contractual agents. So now, here's the first bill of attainder. All right. OCSS shall implement and maintain financial institution data match. Gentlemen, this is how they levy the bank account. This is done by operation of law. All right, and they do that by entering into contracts with the banks that are in your state. And if you have an account with that bank and they didn't warn you up front that they have a contract with child support to turn over your money, possibly if you have a case, that's a due process issue. All right, look, OCSS shall certify, all right, that they're going to be a part of the child support lien network. This is where they put all that information out against you. Look it up. All right, look, OCSS shall ensure, all right, processes established to what? Intercept state tax refunds and rebates. All right, this is not done by court, gentlemen. Check this out. OCSS does the denial of suspension or revocation of passports for who? Obligors owing past support. Gentlemen, anything dealing with Title 4D only applies to obligors or non-custodial pay rents. Look, suspension of revocation of driver's license or professional license. All right, this is not done in court. This is done by a letter, all right, which is denial of due process and equal protection of the law. All right, and more importantly, it's a bill of attainder. Okay, intercept lottery winnings for obligors owing past due support. Again, it only applies to an obligor. If you're accepting mail for an obligor, that's on you. Okay, stop accepting mail that doesn't concern you. All right, look, notifying the credit reporting against obligors. All right, OCSS does this. Again, this is done without a court hearing. OCSS, look, shall establish a work requirement program to assist obligors. All right, so if they're making somebody represent an obligor and then establish work requirement programs, there's your involuntary servitude. I'm the Ahmed Osiris. Gentlemen, listen, you want to send a letter to child support? That's fine and dandy. What you going to do after that? Okay? They're on your foot. You send them a letter to tell them to get off your foot. They don't get off your foot. You punch them in the mouth. You punch them in the mouth by filing a federal lawsuit against them, right, for deprivation of rights under color of law. And by using their own information against them, they can't come back and say that you're wrong. And the beauty about it is we're probably the only firm in the industry that has a counterattack for Roker-Feldman doctrine and failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted or any other case law that they have. Bring it. I got that kryptonite. I'm the Ahmed Osiris. If you need help, you need a Zoom hearing, you need Title 4D materials, bang my email at hathorsehk@gmail.com. It's in the description box. All right. And start filing these lawsuits, gentlemen. Start filing these lawsuits. Stop with the bullshit. Get out there and handle your business. Hotep.